Women don't like a rich man. Women don't want babies. Women don't like washboard abs, girth, stamina, diamonds, roses, romantic comedies. Oh, hooey. The real stumbling block in man's pursuit of women, well, I'll tell you, folks, the man with the answer to that, he's our love consultant from DocLove.com. I'm talking about the master, the maestro, the man who helps you tame the wild beast, pursue the vivacious vixens, and not be your own worst enemy. Doc Love from DocLove.com. His weekly radio show, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on his website, direct to you. Here is your remedial romantic training. Doc, how are you, brother?
Fine. How you doing?
Well, I'm in a happy 92% reciprocal affinity relationship, but I am the exception to the rule. Most men out there are having trouble as they try to pursue their relationships, and as we time and time again on this program discuss specifically with you the challenge of dating. And what is the biggest impediment that most men encounter as they try to pursue women?
It's two things: your ego. Because what you do is you rationalize and don't see red flags. It blinds you. The ego, when it comes to love, is the devil. Now, if you're trying to make 2 extra yards on the football field or get your business off the ground, you need an ego. But when it comes to women, the ego, what it does is it shades your objectivity. You become subjective, you make mistakes, and you don't see things as they really are. For example, let's talk about brainwashing. You go to the movie, the guy hustles the girl, she says, no, I'm not interested. And during the movie, he asks her out 20 times. And finally, for some strange reason, at the end of the movie, she sees the light and realizes what a great guy this is. It doesn't happen that way in the street. Persistence works only if the girl likes you a little bit, at least 51 to 55%. Then we go on the campaign and we can move it up. But some guys will get a home phone number because most girls can't say no, and they'll call 8, 10, 12 times. And it never enters their mind, gee, is there any chance that she doesn't care for me? Oh, no, the ego says, you just keep being persistent. You will wear her down, and she'll see a great guy that you are.
If you don't leave me alone, I'm going to call the police.
They got to call them. Then finally you go, huh?
Stalker.
But she gave me the number, but guys don't realize that a lot of women give you the number because they don't want a confrontation. Now, let me give you an example of a guy that I really put on a pedestal. His name is Kiyosaki. He has a series of books called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Gives seminars, $5,000 a guy to get in there. Teach you all about how to look at money. It's a phenomenal book, one of the best books I've ever read, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But then I read his article on this guy. He asked his wife out 20 times, sent her flowers, sent her candy, chased her for 6 to 8 months before she would go out with him. Now, why would you want to go out with a woman that you had to chase for 6 to 8 months? What are her feelings toward you via her actions? Zero. So what he does, he thinks, well, like in business, you got to be persistent, which is true. So he is trying to talk her into liking him. In my book, I say 1 in 5 women that marry you because there's nobody else around. They've had bad relationships in the past. They got low self-esteem, and the big lie is, I'll learn to love him with time. So I've interviewed, like I said, almost 10,000 women, and I said, well, when did you realize he was out? 4 years, 5 years, 2 years? Oh, no. A lot of them said this. On the day I married him, I didn't love him. And I said, why'd you marry him? I said, well, I wanted to get out of the house, do the economics. He had money. He was a good guy. And I said, but the male ego, see, and then you cross that with interest level. When the guy's interest level is 95, like Kiyosaki's, he doesn't see 45% interest level. He can't see that. He's so enamored with his own feelings and his own ego telling him how great everything's going to be. He cannot see red flags, and the possibility of this woman doesn't like him never enters his little mind.
Yeah, but isn't it human nature to pursue that which retreats from us?
Yes, it is, but the point is this. How many messages are you going to leave a girl?
Right.
How many times are you going to ask a girl out? You're going to ask a girl out 4 or 5 times a week for 6 months, like Kiyosaki?
Yeah.
The point is this. One shot per girlfriend per lifetime. That's the rule. That's the way it is. And the male ego can't handle that. Well, she flirted with me. She touched my arm. She gave me a kiss. She said she wanted to see me. Guy, you left 6 messages. It takes 30 seconds to leave a phone call to call you back. She doesn't call. Why hasn't she called you back? Well, she's been busy. Oh, 24 hours a day. She can't give you 30 seconds. She can't go without you next week, right? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She can't schedule an hour lunch with you. That's because she likes you so much. My number two rule is this. Never try to keep somebody who doesn't want to keep you.
Is a lot of this based on the concept that we often pursue girls that are, to use a turn of a phrase, out of our league?
Well, not out of her league. She just says, I think she doesn't like us. You go up to a girl, you meet her at a business conference, you talk to her for 20 minutes, you ask for the home phone number, she gives you the cell phone number, you wait a week, you call her, she shows up, she touches your arm, you walk her to the car at the end of Starbucks, she says, I really had a nice time, Dave, please call me, I'd like to see you again. Well, that's one situation where everything goes right, and the other one is I'm leaving 3 or 4 phone calls, I'm leaving messages a week. Now, which girl likes me? The ego doesn't see the difference in the two. The ego shields you from reality. So Kiyosaki, when he got married, his interest level was 100. It should have been 80 to 89, and his wife's was 40 to 49. 1 out of 5 women marry you when they have no feelings toward you, and they buy the lie that with time, I'm going to finally get to like this guy.
And that doesn't work.
You want to live with Rush Limbaugh. I remember we talked about him a couple of weeks ago when he got married, and all those pictures I told you about, his arms are around her, she's not touching him. He's kissing her, she's not kissing him back. Well, what kind of a relationship is that? I want the girl all over you.
Right.
From the beginning.
Uncontrolled, unbridled lust. It's a numbers game. What are the 4 things that guys need to remember? Just a refresher. What is it? They need to be self-confident. You got
to be self-confident. You got to be a challenge, and you got to practice confidence. But there's a subtext to this. Every time you open your trap, is this going to up or lower interest level?
Mm-hmm. It's called The System. He does a weekly internet radio show, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Fridays. He is our in-house consultant for relationships and all things women. As always, Doc Love, we appreciate your wise, saged wisdom that you share with us.
It's an honor and a pleasure to be on your show. Thank you very much, Dave.
God bless you.